What's going on, everybody? Vick Almighty, and today we have one of the rarest OVOs that ever existed. The Air Jordan 8 PE Charles Oakley Raptors. This shoe is incredibly rare, you guys. There's only 25 pairs in existence. Today I'm gonna show you guys all the details of the sneaker, the backstory on the Charles Oakleys, and show you guys how to apply some Rejuvenator Sole Shields onto some Jordan 8s. So without further ado, let's get it started. When it comes to the unreleased sample OVOs, it is some of the rarest sneakers you'll ever see. With the specific Charles Oakleys, there's only about 25 pairs in existence. They range from size 8 to 15. These are player editions, not player exclusives. One of the most noticeable details of these Jordan 8s is the oak on the side. Oak is short for Charles Oakley. For those of you who don't know Charles Oakley, he was drafted by the Bulls back in '85. He immediately became great friends with Michael Jordan, and to this day, the relationship is still solid. Years later, Charles Oakley wrote a book, and in that book, Michael Jordan wrote his foreword. He talks about what Charles Oakley did for him in the beginning of his career. Michael Jordan was getting bullied on the court. Charles Oakley was a big, strong dude. He protected him on and off the court. He called him his bodyguard, his enforcer. They played together for a good 3 seasons before he got traded. Michael Jordan was not happy about that, but their friendship stayed strong even through the rivalry between the Bulls and the Knicks. Later in their careers, Michael Jordan and Charles Oakley reunited in the Washington Wizards on MJ's last season. And years after that, in 2010, MJ hired Oak as his assistant coach for the Charlotte Bobcats. That's just a little background information on Jordan and Oakley's personal relationship. I know it may seem random that Charles Oakley is on an OVO shoe, but it makes all the sense in the world. This shoe represents MJ and Oak's relationship, and OVO was able to translate that through this shoe. Now let's get into the details of these shoes. These OVO 8s are in a home Raptors colorway, hence the white, purple, and the red. It's a nice, soft, flat white. The purple on this shoe has a nice pearlescent tone. You can see it in certain different angles. The sneaker also contains a beautiful icy clear sole all around. It's the only Jordan 8 I've seen with one of these. Now getting into some other details of this shoe, we have the 34 and the oak on the side. That represents Charles Oakley. Throughout his entire career, Oak wore the number 34 for all the teams he played for. He played for the Bulls, the Knicks, the Raptors, the Wizards, and the Rockets. Everybody knows that Drake is big when it comes to Toronto. He's a big Toronto Raptors fan. Charles did play for the Toronto Raptors for a good 3 years, so that's why this colorway does make sense. Talking about Drake, on the back of the shoe, we have the classic OVO owl, on both shoes actually. Nice little details. On the front, we have the classic Jordan 8 patches with the gold embroidered Jumpman with the gold circle around it. Moving on to some more details, behind the tongues, we have different tongue tags. One of them says Air Jordan in gold. On the opposite, we have the Raptors. Those are all the visible details of these shoes. Now real quick, we're gonna take out the shoe trees and insoles so I can show you guys that as well. Beautiful purple pearlescent shoe trees. Haven't seen those before. These are the insoles. On one of them, we have the 23, and on the opposite, we have the Toronto Raptors logo. Now onto the coolest feature about these sneakers, the hidden details. Underneath the insoles on the bottom board, we have the 6 God praying hands on one shoe. It's in black and white and it's printed on there perfectly. And on the opposite shoe, we have the OVO going vertically and horizontally in gold. If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out the OVO 14 video I did a few months back. That shoe is truly insane. Now let's get into the social application of these sneakers. I already went ahead and did one of them. Let's focus on the second shoe. For this process, we're gonna need some Rejuvenator Sole Shields, a pen, scissors, and a heat gun. Let's start by opening this box up. Inside the Sole Shield box, you're gonna get 2 pieces of Sole Shield material and some alcohol wipes. We'll start with the wipes. Simply what we're gonna do is give the sole a nice wipe down. Good to go with that. The purpose of that is to remove any oils that's sitting on the surface. Next, we're gonna grab one of the Sole Shields, lay it down flat with the paper side pointing up. Then we're gonna grab the shoe, place it on top of there, just like so. Then we're gonna grab a pen and simply go around the shoe. Be very careful when using a pen. Don't use a Sharpie because the sides can mark the size of your sole and possibly stain it. Got our pattern fully drawn out. Now with some scissors, we're gonna cut slightly outside the line. Next step, we're gonna peel this and carefully apply it onto the shoe. We'll start from the back and work our way to the front. Social's been applied. Now we're gonna use a heat gun to apply some heat. That's gonna help it mold onto the sole and adhere properly. As you can see on the sole, there's some areas that are exposed, one right here, over here as well, and a little bit on the clear sole. That's no good, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this entire sole shield, retrace it out, cut it, and reapply a new one. Second application of the sole shield looks a lot better already than the first time. However, I did get a little bit too much of the sole shield on the midsole. Not a problem. Very carefully using an X-Acto knife, we're gonna slice it off. Good to go applying the sole shields to these Jordan 8s. A couple of tips that I have for you guys. When you're cutting out the sole shields, make sure to give yourself some extra wiggle room. Second, you want to make sure you start on this middle section area. You want to get this area as fat as possible with the edges secured with the sole shield. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, why am I applying sole shields to these rare $25,000 shoes? It's simple. My friend Matt is going to wear them, but he doesn't want to destroy the value of these sneakers. The sole shield is going to protect that. If he was to wear them without sole shields, it'll speed up the yellowing process of these icy soles. As soon as these icy soles touch water, dirt, or any type of oils, it's game over. So it's a no-brainer that Matt wanted sole shields on these shoes to protect the iciness and the value of these sneakers. Again, you guys, this is an amazing shoe. The story behind it, the quality, the details, what this shoe represents makes this a holy grail. There's about 6 OVO Jordan 8s, 2 of them released, 4 of them never came out. This is one of them. I do have one more pair for you guys, and that is the Kentucky Madness OVO 8s. These are just as rare and just as beautiful. If you guys want a full video showing you guys the ins and outs of this Kentucky Madness OVO 8, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll do that for you guys. You can find our sole shields at reshoevn8er.com. Use my promo code down below to save some money. This is Vick Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See you guys.